Southeast connector. I don't have a full map in front of me, but many of you picked up a flood project brochure. And on that brochure, it shows the length of the project. And the Southeast connector is about a 9-mile road. It's supposed to come down from about Sparks Boulevard, down through the floodplain, through Huffacre, and then hook up with, what, Pioneer Parkway, I think, something. Because the proposal was to build the road in the floodplain, something we care deeply about, our board made sure that the RTC staff coordinated that project with us extremely closely. And Paul Urban, who's our project manager in PE, spent, I'm going to say, a year of weeks, probably 52 weeks anyway, meeting every week with the RTC engineers to make sure that the plans that they were coming up with, I mean, they have to build the road on top of something, right? Usually the something is fill. In this case, we said, RTC, you're going to have to build the road as if it's a bridge. So you're going to have far fewer supports, and the supports are going to have to be specific supports and not fill. And where it has to be fill, you're going to have to mitigate. Remember I talked about every teaspoon of dirt into the floodplain has to be compensated by an excavation. Even before our specific rules were in place, RTC agreed to abide by those rules. So it wasn't a rule. I mean, it's basic ordinance today, but they went further and conformed to the one that we proposed, which isn't in place yet. So for the entire 9 miles of length of highway, they have minimized all the fill in the floodplain. And Paul, you may want to add, because you're the guy who met with them.
I mean, you mentioned bridge. The whole thing isn't on a bridge, but what we did with our modeling is found places where you needed to add bridges or openings through the road so that the flood could go back and forth. And it's very important that the flood go back and forth, because sometimes the water backs up at the narrows and then heads upstream again, or heads up Steamboat Creek. So we also were very concerned about how close the road got to either one of the sides of Steamboat Creek, so that we kept our water levels balanced during a flood. And in their feasibility design, we have attained that.
So, you know, they're at feasibility. They have to go into detailed design. We're going to be there every step of the way, working with them on that detailed design to make sure that it conforms to the feasibility design. Because again, I mean, at its heart, I suppose, our flood staff, and they're all here tonight, we view ourselves virtually as the protector of the floodplain. I mean, we have to have the floodplain in order for this flood project to work. The water has to go somewhere. And so we feel passionately about protecting this place, this space. It's very special to us. We call it the critical flood zone 1. And that's why, you know, Paul spent 2 years developing the ordinances with the staffs from Reno, Sparks, and Washoe County so that we could protect this place. So you stay on it, and we will too.